everybody, and welcome again to the Art of FA Checky's official YouTube channel, FATV Fan Art, where we do much more than just simple little paintings that maybe are more beginner level, but I try to incorporate things to help beginners. I try to incorporate things to help people that are intermediate and more advanced. So anyways, again, thank you for watching FATV Fan Art here on YouTube. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please make sure you hit the button subscribe to get notices for more videos just like this. So what are we doing today? We're going to be just treating a canvas for a new work that I'm doing. I love doing maritime ship scenes. This is going to be a ancient Greek maritime ship scene, and I'll show you in the next video what I'm actually working on. But today we're just going to be treating the canvas to help do more detailed paintings. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I hope you really enjoy this, and I'm going to show you the first steps here in just a second. Okay, so what am I going to do first? I got a big old paintbrush because a bigger canvas, 24 by 36 I think, and I got some acrylic white paint. I watered it down just a tiny bit to start the first layer of acrylic paint over the canvas. This is just step one. I'm just going to coat the whole thing with a thin layer of acrylic white paint. A plate or bowl or whatever to put it in. I'm just going to pour it in this just to hold it, the paint, because I can't fit the brush in this jar. Okay, check it out. Okay, and so at this point I should have mentioned earlier that we're just putting a light coat on here, and that if you see me doing that little movement, I'm just trying to get off maybe little chunks of paint or sometimes you get hairs off the brush. That's all I'm doing. But I think this canvas is now fairly well coated with the first coat of thin acrylic white paint. And now on to step two. Okay, here's step two. This is probably where I'm going to catch some flack. I'm using some aerosol clear paint, clear matte finish, gloss, it doesn't matter. Bad for the environment. I don't use it much. Kids, don't do this without your parents. Always have a well ventilated area. I got a fan going, windows open. But anyways, the reason I'm using it is, and if you like spraying things, you might like that, but it's just hardening that first coat of paint. I'm not too concerned about the fact that it's clear. But I just want to cover the canvas as much as I can with this, just to fill in some more of the, and I'll show you later, if you look closely at the canvas, there's little fibers from the material that it's made of, because it's canvas, okay? Kind of like denim on your jeans. Anyway, we're going to spray it down, and I'll show you the next step after this dries. Alrighty, now next step. I've made just basically a wash, a very thin, again, white acrylic paint that I diluted with water. The only reason I'm doing this, now that the spray paint, the clear paint has completely dried, is it's a thin application over this that it's going to dry, and if you use any clear spray paint or clear paint, you'll see what I mean. It's not an even surface. It can be blotchy because spray does not paint on. It sprays on. It sprays on. Okay, and that explains the surface contours or textures after the fact if you use a brush or spray paint. That's why a lot of people like airbrushes as opposed to spray paints, because it's a much more even stream. So we're just going to go over this real quick with a whitewash to go over, and then I'll show you step 4. This was step 3. Okay. Okay, now on to step 4. I just want to point out here on a canvas, and I'm not sure how close I can really get in, you can see the fibers. It looks like kind of like a bunch of little strings going one way and another, crisscrossed, really, if you get really up close. But there's a texture to that. And what we're trying to do is just try to eliminate some of that to make a much smoother surface for the oil paint, because this will be an oil painting. You could do the same treatment for acrylics, but really this is a treatment that I'm doing for oils more so. So I have the thicker acrylic, full on acrylic paint now that the whitewash is dried. And this is just a thick, this is your thickest application. So I'm just going to be using smooth strokes and applying on as evenly as I can the white acrylic. No dilution, straight up from the bottle. Okay, so at this stage we have 4 coats: the initial thin coat, the spray, the aerosol, the thin coat, and the thick coat. Technically 4 coats. Don't stop applying the paint until this, whatever you put it in, if it's about this much paint, I'm not going to stop until it's done. I want as much on there as I can. And I have used up all that paint. Next, final step. So at this point, last step, step number 5, we've gone through basically a thin layer of watered down white acrylic paint. We've gone through a spray on, like a matte finish, or just a clear gloss or gloss spray just to harden the canvas, just to go over as another layer. Then we put a whitewash, very thin down white acrylic, and then a thick coat of white acrylic. Now finally we're going to take one of these, which is a little sand pad here, a sand, like a sponge like thing that has foam, and a thin layer of sandpaper on there, which is really a fine grit. And I'm just going to go over this, sanding it. And that also gets rid of any streams. If there's a line of paint that didn't dry right, like especially towards the bottom where it might drip, and that's it. So I'm going to finish sanding the whole thing, and then we're going to be done. Voila. And finally, folks, before you actually apply any like oil base or liquid clear, whatever you're going to do, could be a liquid white, take a paper towel, wipe off the dust. Get all that acrylic dust off, and in the end you have a much smoother finish on this, filling in some of this fiber, a much better painting surface, especially when you're getting into those real fine details. And that's pretty much it. I treated the canvas. Next time you're going to see me painting the Greek maritime ship scene, perhaps some type of war scene, and actually the inspiration comes from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Thank you for watching my channel, FATV Fan Art. Make sure you like, comment what you think, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get more notices, especially for the next video, to see when I start painting this colossal piece. Thank you again for watching. It's been just great success, over 7,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, all of you, and I hope you tune in for more and watch videos and just enjoy the programming that we have here. Take care. See you next time.